And we are all set. I'm so happy to see you all, to welcome you all, and let's get this started. While I keep admitting people, more and more people are joining in. You can introduce yourself in the chat. And if you are in a presentable mode, feel free to switch on your video. It's always good to see faces, unless your face is on the profile pic like Sandeep's. Uh, Good. So you can start typing, you can start giving your introductions while let's see if there are more and more folks coming out. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Manish. So you're joining from Chicago or?
Yes, I'm based out of Chicago.
Acha. And what's the time right now there?
It's 7:30 a.m.
Okay. Thank you for joining. Hello, Manish. Drumil, welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. You can paste your intro. So while for the next 1 minute, we'll have the intros pasted and then we will move on to the session. As many of you might be joining for the first time, I will tell you what weekend testing is, how a session happens. We'll answer all your questions, and then I would leave you all to test peacefully without any more disturbances. Okay, I can see Sandeep. I can see Ganesh. Good. Okay, last 30 seconds for your intros, and then we are moving on to the mission. I mean, the intro of what is weekend testing, and then the actual task for which we have assembled here. And I see someone by the name iPhone. You can change maybe. Hello, Srinath. We're just going through the intros. You can paste the intros. You can see the chat and you can follow a similar format because there are more people. Okay. And with that, let me tell you what is weekend testing. Weekend testing is a global initiative started way back in 2009. And my name is Ajay Balmurdas. I am one of the co-founders of Weekend Testing and I'll be your facilitator today. What happens in a session? I'll be sharing the application details and the mission shortly. So you'll have 40 minutes to test the application as per the mission. Feel free to work solo, in pairs, or in teams of more folks. Whatever works best for you. You can use any tools. You can use any AI tools as well. There is no restriction. There's absolutely no restriction in weekend testing. There's nothing right or wrong. Whatever you do is right. Okay. And after 40 minutes of testing session, the next 45 minutes, we'll have a discussion around how things happened. What did you learn? How did you find the session? And we'll listen to others as well speak, right? So we'll come together for that 40-minute discussion. And then we'll figure out if there is any interesting finding that we can take back to work on Monday. So let's get started. So I'm pasting the mission. Today's application is okay. Before that, any questions? Just unmute and ask. Any questions that you have?
Ajay, I have a question like, I mean, how long, since you told like, since you've been running for a very long time, so probably how many sessions would have been gone through or
So
went through?
around 175 to 180 sessions.
Sure. Good.
Okay, cool. And you can find some of those transcripts, the older ones, on weekendtesting.com.
Sure.
And yeah, so now let's get started. The mission is pasted in the chat. So you have the application URL, you have the charter. So the application is called Lex. It is an AI um, assistant for writing. Okay. And the charter is you need to explore Lex.page core areas using a fresh account to model key features and produce a short testable feature list. Your time box for 40 minutes. And I've given you examples of how you can come up with a testable feature list. Not necessary to follow this exact template. You can come up with your own list. It could be a mind map, it could be a notepad file, it could be an AI generated output as well. The end goal is come up with, hey, for the Lex application, what all can I test? What are the testable features? For that, you have to explore the application and then come up with this list, right? So, how would you publish? Where would you share the end result? You have to give the final feature list via a public URL. It can be a Google Drive or a blog post. Okay. So I hope the mission is clear for anyone who has joined recently. You're not able to see the chat. I've pasted it once more. This is the mission, and your 40 minutes starts now. Feel free to ask any questions during the 40 minutes. I'm right here. I'll answer all your questions.
Ajay, one question from my side. Just a brief about what exactly this AI writing assistant is.
The name of the application is Lex. So this is useful for writers. Say you're writing a blog post, you're writing an email, you're writing a novel. This application will help you. This assistant will help you, right? Rephrase things, correct catch grammar issues, and things like that. So more details are there on the website. You can have a quick look.
Okay, and just one more question. What is the model underlying this assistant?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Okay, these two questions I have.
Sure. So if you go to the link that is shared, the first line says GPT-3. So I think that's the answer for the question, which is the model. And 40 minutes is both a short duration as well as a long duration. Don't rush, take your time, plan well. And at the same time, 40 minutes will run away. Be aware of that as well. One last thing before I go on mute. You can ping me one-on-one as well if you have questions. If you're hesitating in terms of asking in public, you can ask me one-on-one as well. And keep an eye on the chat messages. There's a message from Trisha, and I hope others also will add in their messages there. Anyone's stuck at not able to access the application or facing blockers and not able to proceed at all, anyone like that, feel free to raise your hands or unmute and speak.
Do you want us to just test the testable feature, or like what are the testable feature? What is the outcome of this document?
I want you to list out the testable features. I don't want you to test it, but then you would need to do some testing to find out what are those testable features, but not deep enough testing of all the features, right? So, what are the features that you can test for
Like,
this application?
do you want us to test like login, and then in starting we are getting the prompt whether it is up it is the writer is for business or academic or those kind of things, or it's just like when we go and we write something on those scenarios?
Okay, so for example, let's take Zoom, this call. This audio, video, participants, chat, react, share, everything that you see at the bottom are examples of testable features. Then within audio, you have select a microphone, select a speaker, microphone modes, and then testing. So those are sub features, right? So you can go to those kind of details, right? So list out all the features that you can test. So question is, it's asking for 7 days trial. Do we need to register with 7 days? I never did. I did not pay anything. You should be able to use it for free without entering any card or payment details.
I have a question. Do you want us to test only future tools.lex, or do you want us to go to visit Lex and then test over there?
Visit Lex and test.
Visit Lex and test.
15 minutes left. Anyone feels you need more time?
Yes.
Only one. last 10 minutes. So last 4 minutes, please ensure your URLs are public, the report URLs. Last 2 minutes, you can start sharing the URLs in the chat. Please ensure access is for anyone with link. There is nothing right or wrong. Many of you are doing this for the first time under such time pressure. So it's okay. We'll learn from each other. Yeah, thank you, Trisha. Thank you, Vishnu. Yeah, Trisha, you can maybe name the file. Vishnu, I'm able to open your XLS. Thank you. So it's time up. Please stop testing, exploring, and share the reports. So this 40 minutes, 45 minutes is a simulation, is a condensed version of what actually happens in real projects. So don't hesitate. We all know that everyone needs more time, but whatever you have done so far, feel free to share. With practice, with more and more sessions, we'll be able to get better. I'm very confident about that. I myself had written only 3, 4 lines in the first few sessions. And then slowly, by seeing others, by learning, by practicing, I was able to do much better. Yeah, thank you, Manish. Able to see your doc. Okay, Sandeep has shared Xmind. You need Xmind to open that. Yes, I'm able to open your mind map, Sandeep. Thank you for that. Sandeep, maybe you can also export it as a PNG and host the PNG so that others can also see. Or maybe let me just put it in the chat. Let's see if I can add images in the chat. Oh, sorry, I saw your message only now. Yeah, this is Sandeep's. Now checking Manish. Yes, I'm able to access your notes. The longest one so far in terms of text and size. Drumel able to access your Ganesh able to access yours as well. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Maniksha, thank you, able to access yours as well. So thank you everyone for being part of the first half of the weekend testing session. And now I have Srinath's. There's a steps expected result um, and details around expected result. Thank you for that. Now I have 5 short questions. You can take a minute's break if you want. And after the break, you can answer these questions. Just copy these questions and then answer them. You can take maybe 2 to 4 minutes. So these are the 5 questions, right? Please take a break, drink some water, use restroom if you have to, and then please answer these questions. We will meet in exactly 5 minutes. So like that's 6:59 p.m. IST. We'll meet with the answers, of course. So till then, I'll go on mute. So I hope all of you are back. Anyone who is back and in a presentable mode can switch on their videos. And we'll have the discussions. I'm also looking at the chat where you can share your answers to the questions. Anyone would like to go first and share how you felt, what you did, how did you approach this, and any key learnings or anything you want to share about the session? Happy to listen to your approach. Go for it. You spent 40-45 minutes testing. There should be something. The reports, at least the reports that you shared, suggest so. So now it's time for a verbal, unscripted feedback, or not feedback, rather, it's more like an experience report.
I mean, I can go first. Going in, it was pretty normal, as in I approached it as if I would with any new application that I'm thrown at, right? Just trying to figure out like what this is about. I mean, since you gave a brief about like what this tool does, it's basically a writing tool that acts as your companion. So I was just going with that mindset, okay, this is going to help me in some sort of writing. So now my questions raised on like what different types of content can I generate? What different roles can I assume in writing, right? So how would it act if it were a tech notes versus a marketing notes versus an email versus uh, a regular scribbled notes that I would take for my knowledge, right? So all of these different contexts, all of these different use cases, as in like how would it approach if somebody were trying to check all different checks at one point, right? Say, for example, it has got different options there, like it can look for citations, it can look for language, it can look for grammar, the tone, all those things. Look, when I checked all of them and then it kind of threw error multiple times. One was working fine if I was asking only the citations, it was doing okay. But if I were to do every single thing at the same time, okay, I'm a little crazy. I want everything at once, right? I don't have time. And then it kind of threw me errors every single time, and then my system, the application became unresponsive for a little while. So I had to again drop the browser, relog in again. So yeah, that was my experience, but it was not straightforward. I would say it's not like, from the usability point of view, I would say it's not that user friendly, at least in my opinion, right? So you had all these options on the table of contents on the left side, and then all the different options on the right, right? And then it wasn't giving me enough information on like where do I go when I want to do a certain thing,
Got it.
right?
Got it.
And then even with respect to writing, like it said, okay, the very first thing that was a little off for me was, okay, it said like in the very initial welcome notes, it said, okay, highlight the notes, click on the edit, and then it should, so you can ask either for give me a different version of it, or try to shorten it. It was kind of giving me a HTML, which was weird because I wouldn't expect, I'd say, thinking from a writer's point of view, I wouldn't expect somebody editing on a notepad or any editor and get an HTML output, right?
Understood.
So
So
it was no way to understand. Yeah,
first impressions were little, shaky, right?
yeah,
Getting the HTML. But yeah, you brought in a good point about having the different use cases baked into your approach, your thought process, and how you used it. So let's hear from maybe Dharmendra on how it went for you. What different did you do? Is
Okay, okay, I'm here. Fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, let me open your camera. So, yeah. So actually, I joined in last 10 minutes, I guess. So that was very short time for me to test it. But yeah, I tested some features like plus plus plus. Then it completed my sentence, and I go to chat thing. I asked few questions, it responded. Then I selected the text and the chat one. I checked it. The things are okay as a beginner tool, so we can use it. But what I felt that if I wrote when I wrote 4 5 sentences, and then I hit triple plus like plus plus plus, is completed the thing in I think 1.5 line. So I was expecting something more because I gave more context. So I
Right.
was expecting the more thing to complete the whole thing. So
So
that
it
was
was inconsistent with user expectation on that
yeah
particular
yeah.
uh, right line.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Interesting
All
points, Manish
yeah
and Dharmendra. Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Anyone else who wants to volunteer, or should I call up the names one by
I'll
one?
go ahead with Ajay. Next
Yeah.
one. So I feel like this is good. The one thing, the hardest part I felt like when I gave a maximum word of that particular Word document, it was lagging. So it took almost a minute to get back to the normal situation. So I tried with the other browser open. So even it was I moved to the other Word document. So I had many documents. So it was fine. So I was managed with that one. So that feels like something, new. Also, generally when I work daily, day to day, when we work with the Word and all, so I generally used to think how these features are being tested in that Microsoft in the Google Sheets. So these and all always thinking in my mind, like because it's ready since from many versions we were using it. Most of the
Mm.
features how it has been tested, but this helped me to check how it has been tested as this feature would have been tested. So I seen many different areas. Okay, this is part by part. They would mention the different sections. Then they've tested this one, so it looks good for me. And yeah, it's a really good feature, Rajay. So I did many, exploration, the AI part, and I found like this is ChatGPT Gemini 5 version is there, like mini version. So it looks good. Yeah, thanks for this opportunity and the kind of a picture.
Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting thought, right? How would have someone, I mean, like, how would have Microsoft tested Word, right? Yeah, good point. Anyone else? Rudreshwar, Manish, Drumil, Trisha, Srinath, Sudhakar,
Yes,
Nikhil?
Ajay, I would like to
Yeah.
go ahead. So actually starting out, I was kind of nervous since this was my first time. And then I just started listing out all the features, like right starting from the left panel and the home page, all those things. And then I kind of stopped for like 1 or 2 minutes and then thought about why is this product called Lex? And
Mm.
then I went into the actual Lex chat window, and then I started out listing out all the features. So there it was kind of hard for me to list out all the features to test. So that is where I kind of actually learned more about the product and learned hidden features in this particular Lex product. And I
So
also
any hidden feature that caught your attention?
creating personas and those kind of thing. And there was one more.
So anyone else, you know, um, got to this stage where you discovered the personas feature?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one means the interesting that means whenever we select the specific statement and when we try that means keep it in different uh, way to means convert that statement, then it would provide me the whole document suggestion
Mm.
inside that chat window, and then after I click on the accept that changes. So it means from a usability perspective, I am bit means confused because I have selected only that specific sentence over there, but it would give me the whole document inside that chat window, and then click on the accept the changes. It will change the whole documentation over there. Though it is highlighting the part, but I thought it is not required because I just putting out only that specific sentence only over there.
Right.
But
So
it the whole
your point of usability, like why are you giving me the whole document when I asked you just for a better
Yes,
version of this line, right?
yes,
Aligns with what Manish also told in terms of user friendliness, usability, right?
yes.
And Manish with MA and ISH, right? He also mentioned about uh,
Also, the voice
yeah,
enable feature is also not properly working. I mean, when I try to means put my voice over there, it is not able to convert that into the transcript over there.
got it, got it. Okay,
And I tried with the other dictation flow, the Whisper flow. It works fine for me, but the default, no, that dictation or voice is not working. And one more feature, what I feel very good is like, in the Lex, when we add this summary in a Tamil language or any regional language, it works fine. So that is also a good feature, I feel.
So the one thing that I observed was, and there is this option called as style guides. So it kind
Mhm.
of tells you, I mean, you can basically upload your style of writing, and then it should basically give the output or the response in your style, right? But that was not up to the mark, because maybe it's because the amount of feeding it was given, as in the amount of information that was shared. I mean, I just shared a sample document or some notes that I had from before, and it was still trying to AI. I mean, it was still trying to give me the AI output. I mean, when the option says style guides, and then it says you upload a sample reference, and then it should give you in your own tone and then
Mm.
voice and then the grammar that you have used before. But it was still trying to use those M dashes, like whatever the AI fluff that comes along. Yeah. So that I mean, it's a good option where you can basically upload your own notes, and then if it says that it should be doing it a decent job, but it was trying to give out AI sort of responses.
Got it. So maybe we don't know to what extent it
Exactly.
fit or aligned with the style guide. Yeah, Manish, I know I kind of stopped you midway. So any other points you wanted to share?
No, Ajay, that was all about it. And I got a new perspective of how to actually test a chat window which is integrated to any of the application.
Okay, nice, nice knowing that. Thank you. Rudreshwar, Srinath, Trisha, Pawan. Eh,
Hi
If
Ajay, good
each
evening.
if each one of you is able to switch on the video when I call out, be on the video whole time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just explored the application and tested the this plus 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 feature, the prompt feature, and the chat feature. These all three feature worked like fine, and I was getting the output which I expected. Yeah, I can show what I like wrote here. Can I just share my screen?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And good evening. Yes. You're able to share?
Just let me check.
Yeah, yeah, now I have allowed. You should be able to share.
Yeah. So I was writing, got the idea of this like writing for the enfeeblement, and I just wrote the first, basically the definition here.
Okay.
It happens when we give our basic day-to-day task or activities to AI or robots. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave here this the prompt plus plus plus, and it completed this whole sentence here. So over time, the human will forget or become less capable of performing vital skills, increasing dependency on machines like this. And then here, I use this, give this example of this when to use the writing, basically for writing emails for job application, writing a LinkedIn post. Then I again use this plus plus feature and
So you
completed the
use the
whole sentence.
features and live, and then it was not like disjointed effort, but in the same document you tried out multiple other features as well, right? Which
Yeah.
is good. And one of the reports, I think it was Dharmendra or I'm not sure who, but they gave a Lex report. They did not create the report somewhere else. They created in the Lex and shared the Lex link itself. That was also
Yeah,
good.
yeah, that's me.
Okay, good, good, good. Okay, thank you. Trisha, Pawan.
Um, I would like to go next.
Okay, yeah, yeah, Vishnu.
Yeah. So I would like to answer for all the questions. So this is the first time I was attending this weekend testing session. So basically, I have 2 years of experience into this backend testing. Like I was completely testing and playing with a lot of APIs, and then with all those queues and SNS and all those stuff, lambdas. But yeah, this UI I always wanted to give a try. But not sure like what I'm going to get. But yeah, hopefully I got this something which I haven't tried it so far. So the first is how do you feel going into the session? Like yeah, since it is the first exploratory testing session like this, it's a kind of feel I felt a bit stressed because it's a time box testing within 45 minutes. So it was a bit nervous initially. And the
Mhm.
hardest part is like I was trying to cover at least the major features within that 40 minutes. So that was the hardest part. And the thing which surprised you. The thing which surprised me is so I felt like how quickly we need to understand the product, identify the important use and flows. So maybe the next time I would be approaching in a different with a different strategy to list down all those important features rather than like this time I was like exploring this and that, but I couldn't make out properly, list down properly. But
Mm.
yeah, the document what I shared is an AI generated, but that was not written by me. I'll admit that. So next time it would be coming from like completely the one which. Even the mind map which was shared by you, like that's something which I used to follow in my current work. So that was my plan, but then later I couldn't do that. The next time I'll try to do that. And how are you feeling now that the session is over? It was good. Yeah, was a bit nervous in the beginning and then started doing self-evaluation.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's fine.
and then the
See,
next
everything
thing which
starts with the first step. Sorry, if I'm cutting out, right?
yeah,
Like we have only 14 minutes and we have few more folks to
yeah,
cover, right? Thank you so much for that.
yes,
And
yeah.
yeah, Trisha, Pawan, Srinath, Sandeep.
Yeah, I can go about the way I started. I started registering. It started asking me to with a trial version with the paid option. I could not figure it out, but once I closed that session and again tried it, it allowed me. The features were intuitive in the sense hard to understand initially, but started exploring the way I started exploring it, it become easier. Um, and I tried with the writing my own personal content and tried I mean putting a question, adding a like emotional, can you add the emotion into this particular paragraph, then it wrote it, and a certain feature whatever I was expecting it missed as well. Then I gave okay this option is missing, okay, then it wrote it. Overall the experience whatever I gained is like it's a 40 minutes is a small, it is a small when we are expecting so many things, but it's we should also have a small window to test these features. Overall it's good, Ajay.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, and next, Trisha. Okay, Trisha, are you able to unmute?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm able to
good.
unmute. For me, I feel good about the session. It was after a long time I've joined. The hardest part was nothing for me because I didn't do as much as testing the other folks which explained. So I was not able to find anything surprising. And the the feeling after the session is over is like I could have done more. And if you ask me what we could have done differently for the next time, we could learn something about agentic or something which you were saying on our last conversation. That's all about it.
Got it. Got it. Thank you so much for keeping it brief. Pawan?
Hello, good evening. Hope
Yeah.
I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
This is actually, I'm very new to testing and this is my very first time here. I have written a few notes, so I couldn't understand a few things that went on over here. Once the session gets over, I'll get back to you, sir. Thank you very much for having this session and hosting it as well.
Sure, sure. Thank you. Sandeep?
Yeah, sure. So first thing first, every time I get from SQL data to something in GUI, I'm like, what I'm doing. Not in the sense of downgrading, but it's something different experience for me every time I come to GUIs too. But yeah, it was a good exercise as I written. I asked the question about models, right? Because we are talking about writing assistants. We talk about clear thinking can be achieved through writing your thoughts, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm using writing assistant to me. So what should be the underlying model? Which can I trust more? So I was more focusing on when it shows basic and pro and it says AI like cheapest models. I'm like cheapest in what sense? And AI like is what does it mean? Is it like no AI? Or is it AI but may not look like AI? What would that? So that was the I would say the hardest part and forming the rubric. You know, when you say I think the persona was what kind of writing you want to choose. So I got for technical. I'm working on spec-driven development. So I was like, okay, let me see what you do for me. And I chosen that category and I say, okay, give me a draft for spec-driven development, only the foundational elements. And it started with BDD decades back. I'm like, no, agentic AI.
Okay.
And then I observed a behavior where it shown the deleted text. And the question came like, is it really emitting tokens? Then again, doing something with token or it's just a representation? So when you use this tool, even in pro version, what's going to be the cost? So that few thoughts came into my mind. So that was the hardest part. Rubric, can I trust it? Can I test it multiple times? And there's a check feature inside it. And check feature works, but it is very slow. So that is a pointer for performance testing for check. How does it do it? Then I did not understand the question on did anything surprise you about how testing actually works? So can you elaborate on that, please, Ajay?
Yeah, some of us are doing it for the first time, a weekend testing session,
Okay.
and the way others have done testing or expressed how they approach this session. Was there
Okay.
anything that surprised you? Oh, I could have done more. Oh, I could have used this. Oh, I never thought about maybe using Tamil language text
Got
like
it.
Ganesh did, right? So those kind of
Right.
things.
Right. And I think as a all-time participant in this session, I can safely say that this is a your own testing platform, right? Okay, how do you test? You can see yourself, excitement, scaring. Okay, you are in front of many people. You have 45 minutes. You have to debrief. You have to present. You have to tell your strategy and all these things. So that creates that excitement all the time. All the time. Not a single session has went where I'm not excited that way and thrilled as well. Okay. Yeah. So that is the and as I mentioned that how I'm feeling, I need to test it further because again, writing assistance is a very important tool, right? So I use Claude, for example. For code writing, I use Cursor. So I have some confidence in terms of what models they use. Now, in this case, documentation says GPT-3, but then I could not make sense of then how are you saying it's the cheapest model? GPT-3 is not cheapest. It's earliest, but not cheapest. But again, writing assistant needs some more testing. How does it do? Especially on the check part citation. And from the charter standpoint, because it talked about testability, I was thinking, what can I do in terms of writing a specific prompt for testability check? But then what would I produce to it? Because unless you touch it, right, a feature, clicking and all these things, right, You don't know, is it testable? Can it have the interaction from the human or the APIs? So I'm thinking on that direction, basically.
Sure. Thank you so much. You touched upon AI, you touched upon the essence of testing something like a writing assistant, comparing with other tools, and then the AI behind that. Good points. We have, I think, three or four more, three members who have not spoken. Um, I'm not sure how much you got the time. Feel free to unmute and speak, share your views.
Can I share one point? I don't know
Uh,
how many of you guys have used AI to test this, but I did use AI to test this.
Hmm.
I have got all these different connectors. All these different tools that you can use to browse or navigate to the pages. Be it Playwright or web fetch, anything like fire crawl, everything. So I did have I did use AI, being honest. So I gave all the things that are in my mind, as in like, okay, so these are the different personas that I wanted to assume. Try a different prompt every single time, because it has to be the persona focused. So I could have given a much detailed or a longer documentation, because Claude did give me the documentation.
Hmm.
So it kind of tells you, okay, so what are the different personas you want to use, and then how does the context change with each persona, right? And then with respect to technical writing, and there was one other use case which I used. I told it, okay, so let me grab my notes. So there was one thing which I was specifically asking at.
So while he gets that, I'll just like to thank everyone once again. This was brilliant. We restarted this after a long time, and right now with AI being everywhere, the focus on the core skills needs to be refreshed. And this is one initiative where we focus on those skills, right? Planning, modeling, collaboration, communication, questioning, clarifying the mission, using different tools like how Manish mentioned about Firecrawl, Playwright, MCP, and few others, right? So, and getting to make new friends who are as passionate as you, and knowing that, oh, I can always talk to them, figure out a way what they are using. Um, how did you get that idea? Can you explain me more? How did you even get to a Tamil text, for example, right? Ask Ganesh, and then he will say, oh, you know what? You did this. How did you discover the AI model? I did not do, right? This is all a community. And thank you so much for joining. Manish, are you ready, or you're on mute? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Okay, so the one thing that I did was I did give a couple of actual blog pages, as in to go and because I work for Morningstar, so we do a lot of research on content writing and all of this stuff. So I did give a couple of blog pages, and then asked it to assume different roles now, and then rewrite the same thing using different techniques. When I say like assume the role of an editor who has got only 1 year of experience, who's a fresher, versus somebody who has been within the Morningstar or within the domain for more than 15 years, right? So how does the technical expertise differ there? So yeah, it wasn't able to do it. Maybe I wasn't trying to explain. I didn't explain it properly, but I was expecting it to give me a
Different.
different depth of words or the vocabulary that goes in when somebody who's a fresher versus somebody who's got been in the industry for 10-15 years. So yeah, the vocabularies was another thing which I did not find it doing a better job, as in it was for like for every job it was doing this, it was kind of using the same vocabulary and not the ones that actually tells you what your expertise in that area is.
Got it. So many ideas, so many different perspectives, some on tools, some on the pressure, some on the time, some on the approach, right? Okay, I will do this better in this manner. Once again, thank you so much for joining, and we are at the last minute. If you're okay, you can switch on your video. We'll just take one photograph, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll meet next Sunday again with a different application, different charter, and hopefully we'll learn different tools, different approaches, and make a few more new friends. Thank you so much. Just taking the photo, look at the camera, put on your best smile, and there we go. Thank you so much. Have a great evening and a week ahead. See you again. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ajay. Thanks for organizing this.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Ajay.
facilitating.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Thanks, Ajay. Bye.